Hey, I got some new outdoor furniture coming. I can't wait for you to sit on it. It's gonna be great.
No, he's not allowed. I think he's not allowed.
It's gonna be great. You're gonna have a great time.
Yeah, it's fine. I just need like a simple chair, but whatever you got.
Oh, simple chair. Okay, I can get you more than that.
Just give me a beach chair. Best outdoor furniture there is.
Beach chair now is the best outdoor furniture.
That's all you need.
Okay, beach chair.
I'm kind of with you.
It's about being outdoors, not about what you're sitting on.
Okay.
Right.
On today's Pardon My Take, we have MLB Opening Day with our good friend Jeff Passan. We also have a tourney game to remember with Texas Tech taking down Arkansas. We're going to talk about the rest of the Sweet 16. Kevin Willard and the weirdest exit possible. LeBron went on Pat McAfee and made some waves, renewed his rivalry with Stephen A. Smith, a new one with Brian Windhorst, and then we're going to finish the show with some Severance finale talk and Fyre Fest of the week. And it's brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. When it comes to college basketball and March Mania, one thing is for sure, nothing's for sure. Upsets, buzzer beaters, Cinderella's advancing, top seeds going home early. It's all going to happen. Bet the unexpected every upset, every day with DraftKings Sportsbook. With live betting, exclusive content, promos, and parlays, DraftKings is the ultimate college basketball destination for March. Ready to make your first bet? Check out the matchups and pick a team to win. It's that simple. First time, here's something special just for you. New DraftKings customers bet $5. Get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Bet the unexpected with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE. For new customers, get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Pardon My Take, presented by DraftKings. Bet the unexpected with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Today is Friday, March 28th. And boys, we finally had some madness. Texas Tech, down 16 with 10 minutes left, takes down John Calipari and the Arkansas Razorbacks. And I feel bad for Arkansas fans, but I laugh at Cal because that was an all-time meltdown. And Hank just sent me a graphic. This is reading off. So Arkansas doesn't own all of this. 2021 missed the tournament. 2022 is all Cal. 2022 lost to 15 St. Peter's. 2023 lost in the second round. 2024 lost to number 14 Oakland. 2025 blew 16-point second half lead.
Yeah, I don't know that you can group this one in with the other ones because at least he got this far and he was a 10 seed.
Yeah,
it's a bad choke. Don't get me. It was a hog reveal. They're chokers.
That was bad.
It was a bad job in the second half for sure. I don't know that you would put this on the same level as losing to a 15.
This was a bad loss though, especially the way that Texas Tech was playing. McMillan was out. They were not shooting the ball well. They were absolute monsters on the offensive glass. There was one possession where I think Texas Tech got the offensive board like 5 times in a row and then finally willed the ball in the hoop because it felt like for the first 35 minutes of this game, Texas Tech, every time they scored was a miracle, and they found a way. They willed it. They scored that 3 with 9 seconds left. And then the real egregious thing by Cal is he doesn't call a timeout with 9 seconds left. Just lets his team go down there. Boogie Flynn takes kind of a fade away, the front iron. That was avoidable, and Texas Tech, incredible fight by them. They deserve all the credit.
Well, it was the classic Todd Bowles. You can't take him with you.
Yeah.
You got the timeout, burn a hole. I guess he was like, maybe we can just catch him by surprise.
Yeah.
But maybe his thought was that Darian Williams would be winded after backing the guy down. He wouldn't get back on defense.
Maybe a travel.
Darian Williams, by the way, I enjoy watching him play very much because he is just always bumping and grinding.
And he's also in slow motion. He had a couple moments where there was like a breakout, and he basically let the entire Arkansas defense get back because he's like, I'm not going to do this.
Yeah, big boy bumping and grinding. Boys are buzzing.
I do feel bad for Arkansas fans. Eric Musselman wouldn't have blown that lead.
Oh, no chance.
Absolutely not.
Nolan Richardson wouldn't have blown that lead.
We have fun with Cal. That was bad.
Well,
I like Cal. I want him around in college basketball. He's fun. But that was a bad one.
They don't call it 45 minutes of hell.
Yeah.
It's 40 minutes of hell. So at that point, Calipari's like, they don't pay me for overtime.
Texas Tech shot, what is it? They actually shot 25% from three, so they kind of cleaned it up at the end because they hit a couple. But there was a moment there where they were shooting like 9% from three. 22 offensive rebounds is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's a ridiculous number. And they're a good team, and they've been injured like all year. They've had guys in and out. JT Toppin with that, he had that hook shot in overtime that was just a thing of beauty, but Texas Tech, that we deserved that game.
I'm glad that we got some overtime. I'm glad that we got some action in the Sweet 16 because the first two games sucked. Bad games. Bad job, basketball.
Well, bad games, and listen, I bet BYU. I put a lot of money on them. Game of the year. I can hand up and say that was not a bad game. That was a nuclear explosion by Alabama. I don't think I've ever seen a team shoot the three like they did tonight. And that was what?
BYU against Wisconsin.
They didn't shoot it like that.
It was pretty good, but yeah, Alabama
hit
what they did tonight.
Yeah, they were playing Missoula ball.
They shot 51 threes, and they were 25 for 51. You actually could take out the last second huck by Grant Nelson at the end of the first half that really wasn't an attempt. They were 50% from three, shooting 53s.
If they hadn't shot a 2-point shot, they still would have won this game.
It was insane.
That's how crazy. When you take into account the 3-pointers and the foul shots that they made, if you eliminate every single 2-point basket that they made, they still would have beaten BYU.
I'm just going to say it just because you're just being unnecessary ugly there. BYU shot 12 of 26, 46%. That's half the amount of threes against Wisconsin.
It was crazy.
They shot 51 threes and hit half of them. That's insane.
It was absolutely nuts. I don't think any team in the country beats Alabama if they're shooting like that.
Oh, I agree. Like that was... And
Now,
they were shooting from deep. They were shooting because, BYU was trying to mix it up. They were throwing some zone at him. They were just shooting over the zone. Mark Sears was 10 for 16 from three. 10 for 16 from three.
He just kept shooting and it just kept going in.
It was insane. I know we joke about Alabama because of our friend Rico Bosco. That Alabama is fun to watch, and that was an insane offensive explosion. I mean, BYU scored 88 points and lost by 25.
So I got a dumb question for you, Big Cat. Is it bad that they shot so good? Does that ever carry over to if you have an outlier, a game like this that's so insanely good from 3 points? They're not going to be able to keep that going, right?
I think the rims in Newark might be a little soft because we saw it the Duke game too, where Duke that was 193 points.
Yeah.
So combined in those two games was like over 400 points.
I guess you could also say they gave up 88.
They did. Yeah, they gave up 88, but that's insane to give up 88 and still win by 25
and still just beat the shit out of your opponent.
Yeah, that Alabama team that's a scary. That is what, if you're an Alabama fan, you just have in your back pocket where you're like, hey, we could just come out and just shoot and hit every three and no one can beat us, because they do have that.
Yeah.
And that was what we saw tonight, and it was incredible to watch.
And BYU, they weren't making their threes tonight like they were against Wisconsin.
No.
They were ice cold from the outside. I was hoping that the rim in the first half would translate and that BYU would heat up in the second. They also, here's one thing I noticed about BYU. I've never seen a team miss as many alley-oops as BYU missed. I think it was a little bit racist how high they were throwing the ball and missing their alley-oops.
I was going to say, some of them technically aren't even misses because they wouldn't hit the player.
Yeah.
There was just a turnover.
Just I don't know how the scores would. Is that a shot?
I think that's a turnover.
Do I count that as
no? It's just a bad
turnover?
pass. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like, I'm going to throw it. That guy can jump 13 feet in the air.
Yeah. It was. The BYU is not on their game. Alabama absolutely destroyed them. Duke, I know, is 193, but Duke just stopped playing offense for the last 10 minutes. It felt like running their real offense, because it felt like they were in control against Arizona for the entire game. You even got Caleb Love, who that was his last college game, went out on his sword, scoring 35, We never got the bad Caleb Love in this tournament. But Duke looks so good.
That game ended at the end of the half.
Yeah, when Cooper
scored.
Flagg hit the buzzer beater 3.
Mm-hmm.
They're just so Duke just has so many guys, and when Cooper Flagg's bringing up the ball, like, what are you going to do?
So the way they ran this game, especially after the first 10 minutes, the last 30 minutes of this game, it was Cooper Flagg on the inside running a 2-man game. Occasionally, Knippel would drive to the hole too, but they would just space out the defense and then let Cooper Flagg do whatever he wanted with the ball.
Yeah,
and they couldn't stop him. There was no chance.
No, he was phenomenal. He scored 30 points. He was all over the place. Con Nipple. I think we got to just say Nipple.
Yeah, I do like when he does the shimmy and he gets to the baseline. I call it the nip slip.
Yeah,
that's a good move.
Con Nipple.
Yeah, Con Nipple. Duke is fun. I have bad news. Duke is a fun basketball team. If you enjoy watching basketball, you're going to love Duke Blue Devils. It's crazy.
I don't want them to win it all, but I've been saying they're going to win it all, and I don't hate them the way that I usually hate Duke, and it hurts me.
Yeah.
Because they are fun to watch.
They are.
And then the last game, Florida killed Maryland, and Florida's really, really good. I expect Florida to go to the Final Four. We had Condon did get hurt for a little bit there, which was scary for Florida because that is their ceiling.
Yeah.
Him being out there. And they're just an awesome team. The story, obviously, though, is Kevin Willard in the weirdest 3-week stretch because this goes all the way back, I think, before the Big Ten tournament, or right around the Big Ten tournament. Kevin Willard, should we first announce it?
Congratulations to Kevin Willard. You are the head coach of the Villanova Wildcats.
Wow,
you got your guy, Max.
Congrats, Max.
You got your guy.
Yep.
How would you rate Kevin Willard's exit from Maryland?
Not a great exit from Maryland, but I'm worried about his tenure at Villanova. That's the past. We're worried about the future.
Okay.
And Kevin Willard at Villanova.
So you just said, the quote I heard from Max Memes, I don't know if you caught this, was, I am worried about Kevin Willard at Villanova.
Yeah, no, I'm focused on that.
No, you said worried, though.
But that's what I care about. I'm not worried about that.
I think that if I was in charge of a coaching search, I would take into account how poorly he handled the exiting of the Maryland job, and I'd be like, actually, I don't know if we're going to go ahead and do this.
Maybe the people of Maryland are also doing a bad job behind doors, you know?
Okay, so from what we know,
the Maryland athletic department seems like a shit show.
It seems like a shit show. And I want to say this. I feel really bad for Maryland fans because this should have been a really fun Sweet 16 run. They hadn't gone to the Sweet 16 in 10 years. You had Derek Queen's buzzer beater on Sunday. It should have been a really fun, this is the start of something big. And instead, it was 2 weeks of just the weirdest press conferences and the weirdest headlines. And Kevin Willard, from everything that I've read, essentially he's been the Villanova coach for a week and a half now. He started this all 2 weeks ago, doing a press conference being like, hey, we need more support, we need more NIL, we need all this stuff. Fine, totally fine. Everything I've read, Maryland basically said, okay, Kevin Willard, you're right, we're going to give you everything you want. And he's like, well, actually, Villanova's going to give me, I'm going to the Big East. I want to go back to the Big East, and everything I asked for, yeah, you delivered it, but I'm not going to take it.
It's a bad position for a coach to be in because coaches, here's a news flash, they have zero loyalty to whatever job that they're
correct
at. Unless it's one of probably a dozen. There's probably a dozen schools that guys are at where they're like, this is where I want to be as long as they'll have me. But outside of that, they will be looking for a higher paying job, a better job if it's available. And it sucks. It sucks. This is the part that I don't like about college basketball is this type of stuff. Because Maryland should have been such a good feel-good story. Mm-hmm. It should have been, I feel bad for the players. I feel bad for the fans because of the nature of the sport. They've had a bad time going to the Sweet 16.
Right.
It has not been enjoyable. There was nothing happy about this time for them. There's really no fix. I can't think of a way to make this right off the top of my head. But I do. Maybe if reporters agreed to stop asking coaches about jobs.
The fix is he could have done it one of two ways. He could have done it the Will Wade way,
which I didn't mind.
Yeah, and just say, yeah, I'm taking the Villanova job. I love these guys. I'm gonna coach these guys. I'm gonna coach my ass off for these guys, but I am gone. Or just basically don't talk about it at all because he did the thing. I understand coaches will do this all the time and it's bullshit, but I also am never going to begrudge someone taking a higher paying job or a job they want to go to for family, whatever it may be. But you could easily just say, like, I'm focused on this team. I'm not going to talk about this. My agent's going to handle everything. He went on a radio show on Tuesday and said, I'm the Maryland coach as of right now. Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
And this is the same thing that he did. He was at, what, Seton Hall?
He was at Seton Hall.
So when he was at Seton Hall, his season ended kind of the same way. And in the tournament, he was like, yeah, I've got an agent. I haven't talked to him yet, so I don't know what's going to happen. He was like very, very cagey about it, about the way that he left.
He said in his post-game press conference, the only thing I'm worried about right now is who my next boss is going to be.
Yeah.
So he was still throwing shots at Maryland.
Yeah, because they fired the AD
Yeah.
went to SMU. Yeah, and he's like, I haven't talked to my wife. I haven't talked to my agent. That's all lies. He's talked to both.
Yeah.
He's going to be announced the Villanova head coach. If he's not, I actually don't think you can go back if you're Kevin Willard.
Well, so there was a report that came out that said that he is expected to take the job. I think it was the Baltimore Sun. But Maryland is planning on making a last-ditch effort to bring him back, which would be wild.
So awkward.
Because when they left the team hotel today to go to the game, the fans booed him. Maryland fans booed their head coach on the way to a Sweet 16 game.
And there was a report, it was a rumor, who knows, that he did not go to the team dinner last night.
Do you think that's true?
It might be, because he strikes me the way he's handled this whole thing. And listen, again, most people aren't confrontational. I don't like confrontation. He probably was like, I'm just going to stay at home and do some game planning because I don't really want to sit with my players and my staff and have to have them make jokes or ask me questions.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the way to handle it is just like, I'm not going to talk about anything else.
Not talking about it.
You got to set the ground rules
Right.
as a head coach. Not going to talk about the next job.
Or the Will Wade.
Here's
Not the halfway of, as of right
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
I'm the Maryland coach.
Here's how I would handle it as somebody that would not feel comfortable doing I'm taking the Villanova job, but I'm still coaching these guys, and I love these guys. I would probably say, I'm not going to talk about my future. I love these guys.
Yeah.
And then I'd shame the reporters for asking me about
Yeah.
it. I love that
focus
move.
on the kids.
It's like, I think it's highly offensive that you want to take the spotlight off the players and their experience and try to divide us. I think that's a shameful thing to do.
That's what Izzo did.
Yeah.
Did you see the Izzo when they asked him about the transfer portal? He's like, I got guys here. I got 15 guys here that I love. I don't want to talk about new guys. I don't want to talk about the transfer portal.
Yeah.
It's my guys right here.
Yeah.
Like that. There is something you don't know when Kevin Willard's been coaching for 18 years. This was his first Sweet 16 run, and it basically was sullied by all of this. Like, you can do whatever you want. You can take whatever job you want. There's just a way that you can avoid all of this, and he did the exact opposite of avoidance in the fact that he made it as murky as possible, and he kept on having weird press conferences and kept on stoking the flames. Like, he could have shut this down, and he just didn't.
Yeah, he did a bad job quitting. But I still think that whether you go that way or the Will Wade way, it sucks that it's a conversation that happens.
Yeah, but it's also part of sports.
I don't like that it
especially-
happens in March.
Especially this is how NIL works now. This is how transfer portal. We always said that it was unfair that coaches could move and players couldn't. Now it is equal. We have, Scottie Pippen's son hit the transfer portal. He's on Michigan. Michigan's in the Sweet 16. Remember when Bo Prabula did it for Penn State when they're in the playoff?
Yeah.
This is just the reality of it. They should change. They should change when the transfer portal, because that's the other part, is the transfer portal opening during the tournament or the transfer portal opening during college football playoffs is so fucking asinine and so backwards. Because I bet you, not to excuse Kevin Willard, if the transfer portal opened, let's say April 15th, Kevin Willard would not have had to have his advanced talks with Nova, because the pressure of you got to figure it out and you got to figure out who your coach is, you got to figure out the transfer portal, starts so quickly.
You know what was crazy tonight too is that the first half was close. It was 40-38 at halftime. Do you think Kevin Willard was like, we're so close, fuck it, at halftime, I'm just going to tell the boys. I'm going to open up my heart to them.
Yeah.
Be like, hey guys, there's been a lot of talk. I want you to hear it from me first.
Yeah.
I am leaving. Let's go out there and let's fucking win this game because I love you guys and I'm still coaching you right now. And they took it the exact opposite way and they're like, fuck this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. It could definitely have happened.
That was his big motivational speech. Backfired big time.
Stephen Shea was trying to get me on that this is the exact same thing as Liam Cohen. The Bucks weren't still in the playoffs.
Yeah, not the same.
Like, that's the thing, is if Kevin Willard, If
a ladder climbing
Derek
turtle.
Queen's buzzer beater doesn't go in, none of this is weird. Like, it was a little weird a couple weeks ago when he made the demands, but he would have been the Nova coach, and we all would have been like, okay, that makes sense.
Which, by the way, this is a stat that I wish that we had. I wish that we had said this earlier in the week. Teams in the last 10 years are 1-7 after a buzzer beater in the NCAA tournament in their next game. 1-7. Would have liked to have known that earlier.
I think I saw it, but that also is like, how much of that stat is like, I don't know.
Well,
it's real, but
1-7.
I understand, but is it just, I'd have to look. Because you'd think maybe buzzer beaters, what? You think it's directly correlated, you hit a buzzer beater, you lose the next game?
No, I think it has more to do with maybe an underdog that shouldn't win the game.
Right.
And they end up winning at the very last second on a
Right.
fluky shot. They're less likely to beat a better team in the next round.
Right.
It has nothing to do with the actual shot.
Right.
And how
Hank
you
was ready to
feel.
ride.
Stats are stats.
Stats are stats, but you'd probably have to look into it a little more.
Numbers never lie.
Numbers never lie. Hank, how did you like the games tonight?
They were great. I like the. It was fun. It's a fun night. It was better than last weekend.
Yeah, and we should have. I mean, the Elite Eight matchups now. This is the whole deal we made. Is that there was no upsets at the beginning of the tournament, but Duke, Alabama is going to be great. Texas Tech, Florida should be great. Like, these are great games.
Kentucky, Tennessee tonight.
Yeah.
Ole Miss,
Tennessee.
Michigan.
It's stacked.
Yeah.
We're living in the best times.
Michigan, Auburn.
The Crown starts on Monday. I don't know if you guys have seen, but
I'm not
I'm
watching that.
actually jacked up for the Crown.
I'm not going to watch The Crown.
Yeah,
Was
you
that
are.
a show on Netflix?
You know why you're going to watch the Crown? You're going to watch the Crown because the Crown starts Monday at 2 p.m.
I like the timing.
Yeah. And it goes 2 p.m., 4:30, 7:30, 10 o'clock. You're going to watch the
I
Crown.
can't turn my back on NIT Stu.
Oh, I'm
the
sorry.
NIT crew.
Also, I should mention on Tuesday, 2 p.m., 4:30, 7:30, 10 o'clock. You're going to watch the Crown, buddy.
It's good having basketball on.
I'm gonna
in
watch
those
The
days.
Crown.
I mean, the timing of it is no brainer.
Yeah. It's great.
What are the matchups? Which Crown matchup are you most excited
okay.
for, Cat? Tell me the teams, and then I'll tell you how excited I am.
Nebraska, Arizona State could be good. Washington State, Georgetown. I might take the over in that. Utah, Butler. George Washington, Boise State. We need to find a Crown expert. DePaul, Cincinnati. UCF, Oregon State. Villanova, Colorado, Tuesday night. Tulane, USC.
Where are they playing the games?
Vegas.
Okay, that's
All of
kinda
them
cool.
are being played in Vegas. So, yeah, I'm a Crown guy. I'm excited for the Crown. I want Max. Will you be live streaming every Crown game?
Yeah, no.
You
but
almost said yes.
I get fucked up with it. I'm looking at Pacific time. I don't know what that means.
What do you mean?
So all of these are 2 hours back?
Does
What
it
do you-
say
why is your
Pacific or
computer
it should
not
say
have
local
it?
time?
Well, I'm looking at the bracket.
Oh.
So on the printout bracket, it says Pacific. So that means that you need to add 2 hours to it.
Just look at the website.
Got it. I also like that the Final Four of the Crown is the same day as the real Final Four, but it's just before. So if you're like
little
craving
appetizers?
hoops,
Oh, that's great.
yeah. So it's 12:30 and 3 our time.
That's
so it'll
great.
be like going right up until the Final Four.
What about the championship?
Sunday.
Love it.
Okay.
Yep.
Love it.
It's great. It's
I'm a Crown guy.
It's good scheduling. It's good scheduling for the Crown.
Your crown with a sickness?
Sure. I don't know what that means at all.
It's a lyric.
What?
Down with the sickness.
Oh, got it. I thought this. I don't know. My bad.
Just say I'm crowned with a sickness.
Yeah, I'm crowned with the sickness
Fuck
for
yeah.
sure.
Fuck yeah, you are next.
All right, we got to talk some LeBron. Before we do that, Hank, will you look up what the prices are on game time for the Cubs opening day next Friday?
Sure.
Baseball is back. There's nothing like getting to a baseball game, especially last minute. Lucky for me, I always use Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Game Time makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the app actually go down the closer it gets to showtime. Plus, the Game Time Picks feature makes it even easier to find the great deals on the seats you want. Just pull up your chosen event and turn on the GT Picks setting at the top of the screen or browse the best local Game Time Picks deal near you on your Game Time app homepage. Cubs Opening day Friday against the Dodgers.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a nice day, too, and you can get into Wrigley for just $64.
Wow. Use the Game Time picks. You can put those savings back into your pocket and spend them at the ballpark on a hot dog, a new hat, or some good old-fashioned Cracker Jack. What are you waiting for? Buy those Cubs-Dodgers tickets now with Game Time picks. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code PMT for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game time. Okay, LeBron James. He went on Pat McAfee's show on Wednesday, lit the world on fire, then hit a game winner against the Pacers. Then we should mention he had the laziest entry pass ever in the Bulls, who were very hot. One on a Josh Giddey half-court shot, which was an incredible. If you didn't watch, I would assume a lot of people didn't watch the Bulls-Lakers. Just pull up the clips for the last 40 seconds. It was insane.
It was nuts. 3 to cut it within 2.
Yeah.
And then stolen inbounds pass.
Kobe White was just on fire again.
Go
He's
ahead
been on
bucket.
an insane run.
And then was it
Lakers scored a 2.
Yeah, it was Luka to Austin Reeves.
Yep.
They go ahead, and then Giddey hits a half-court shot.
Yeah, half-court shot. But
LeBron Versation.
LeBron Versation.
Great name for the interview.
Mm-hmm.
I have some takes. I want to hear what you guys have to say. My first take is, how pissed do you think Skip Bayless is?
That he's not involved?
LeBron goes on this on Pat McAfee's show, was actually like pretty entertaining.
Very entertaining.
I liked the whole thing. You didn't hear LeBron. LeBron doesn't do these type of interviews often. And he started a war with Brian Windhorst. He went at Stephen A. Smith again. And
Said the NBA was rigged.
Said Giannis could have dominated the 70s.
Said his team that made the finals when he was younger was a joke. Basically shat on it like the Anderson players.
Yeah. But all this to say, Skip Bayless was not mentioned once, and all Skip Bayless wants to do is get mentioned by LeBron. He's the big loser in all of this.
Yeah, Skip was he was grasping at straws tonight because he was pissed. He was mad at LeBron. He was calling him out for losing the game tonight in the home palace of Michael Jordan.
Yes.
And so he was laying in extra hard trying to make LeBron seem like a loser. But in reality, Skip was just like, maybe he'll talk. Maybe he's going to call like Stephen A. by my name.
Yeah.
In the LeBron conversation. But I thought that LeBron and then Stephen A's response to LeBron, they just need to have a fucking conversation on a podcast together. They need to quit talking about each other behind each other's backs. They need to just sit down and do it all in a room. You think that this is all the work to get Stephen A. Smith some ratings?
I don't know. To get the NBA talked about, it does feel very workish at this point.
I have not given up on my conspiracy theory that LeBron is starting this separate league. And him basically admitting that, he believes the NBA was rigged is further evidence of it.
It's trying to put a little crack in the truth. Hank, I've agreed with you since day one when LeBron said that he was thinking about starting his own league that would rival the NBA after they've done everything just bending over for him for the last 25 years. I thought that fair play on both sides until Stephen A. was like, you didn't go to Kobe's funeral. And
well, no, he didn't
also
say
said,
that.
I know.
Said
good point.
He things that he was never brought up.
Yeah, there are things
he brought him up.
There are things that he could have brought up in the past,
didn't.
which he hasn't, and he will continue to not bring them up.
Correct.
And those things, as he listed them, were I didn't bring up that you didn't go to Kobe's funeral.
Yeah.
I get it right when I'm talking about the news between you and your son. There were things about your son's illness. I'm so thankful that he's okay. And then he just moved on from that point.
Yeah, and also the Dwayne Wade didn't go to Dwayne Wade's Hall of Fame induction.
That's right. But when he fired the shot about Bronny, that was the weirdest one to me because he didn't finish his thought on it. It was almost like one of two things happened. Either one, he was letting LeBron know that he knew something that he wasn't going to detail, or two, he just decided mid-sentence, oh, fuck, I better not go there because LeBron's going to kick my ass.
Right.
And then moved on. But that part was really weird to me. And then also, oh, yeah, it turns out that LeBron did go to Kobe's funeral, and he just asked to not be photographed there because he didn't want to make it about himself.
Right. So the Stephen A. Smith LeBron stuff, I mean, it's basically just giving Stephen A. Smith life.
But it's a power move by LeBron.
To do McAfee show on the same station.
I am the biggest LeBron hater, but
Yeah.
he hates Stephen A. and Stephen A. hates McAfee. So as a way to get back at Stephen A. going on McAfee, like that's you got to just tip your hat to that.
And I thought Pat did a really good job because Pat does do a good job of like asking questions that are uncomfortable, like just getting right to it. The couple things I like him going after Stephen A. was fine, whatever. Like Stephen A. That's the game. Stephen A. wants to be talked about. I thought the Windy shot was weird.
Yeah.
The Windy shot was weird just because, like, I don't think Brian Windhorst ever said he's best friends with LeBron.
No.
And he's also, everything I've, like, heard from Windy, he's always pretty effusive in praise of, like, I wouldn't have a career if LeBron, like, I wasn't in the same place, same time as LeBron James.
I think maybe what LeBron's heard is everybody else being like, Windy is best friends with LeBron. That's why he gets all the LeBron scoops. But Windy has never said that. It's just everybody else being like, Windy is the guy that has everything about LeBron.
But it's also very funny because LeBron, you should probably look at your inner circle because they're probably the ones talking to Windy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. If
I
I was Windy, I would have been like, I wish that LeBron would say that to my face.
Did Windy respond?
I'd have to swing on him.
So. Windy had the whole media responding for him, having his back.
Yeah.
So like, and these are minor things because again, overall, I liked the interview, and I thought LeBron was more relatable than he's been in a long time. The other one that I was just like, this is weird. The Giannis scoring 250 points in the 70s, that just feels desperate of like trying to push, I'm the GOAT conversation. And it always strikes me as weird when guys like bash the people who came before them, who not only like 70s NBA players, games were on tape delay, guys weren't being paid a ton of money, they were traveling like shit. Like those guys built what the NBA eventually became. So you should have a little more like reverence for those guys, I would assume. But it's also weird to me because if you're bashing guys from the 70s, what do you think's going to happen in 40 years?
You're going to get bashed, yeah.
Right. It's like having a conversation, like everyone knows someone who's a big gossip and always has like inside, telling you, oh, this guy's doing this, like, and they ask you what's going on in your life. And you're like, no, you're just going to tell this to everyone else. Mm-hmm. You can't, if you're going to bash the 70s, they're going to bash you eventually.
Or it's like hypothetically, if a coach left the job unceremoniously,
right?
What do you think he's going to do to your job at some point?
Right. It's just so weird to me. Like it's going to come around on you, LeBron. I don't know why. You could just take the high road and be like, the guys in the 70s were great in their own way. The eras have changed. Basketball has evolved, but I appreciate them. And I hope people will appreciate what I've done for the sport in 40 years.
Also, is he saying that if you took modern day Giannis and then just teleported him back in time and dropped him in the middle of a game, he would dominate? Okay, that's probably correct.
Yeah.
He'd probably be the best player by far. But also, if you were to take Giannis and then have him be born in that era,
right,
he probably would never play in the NBA because they didn't scout in Greece.
Correct.
And so LeBron, if he had been born in that era, probably would have been a great player, great basketball player, one of the best. But would he have been he wouldn't be a carbon copy of who he is today.
Would he have been able to play for 20 plus years? No way.
Super teams didn't exist. He might never have won a title.
Yeah. But he also like his career longevity is because of how far we've come in sports science. You'd think like to bash those guys, they were playing in fucking Converse and Chuck Taylors.
Yeah, I don't like him going at Windy.
Windy was too much.
I don't like that, but I do like the fact that Stephen A. is like, I would have swung on him if he put hands on me.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I like that.
And then
too.
I also fair play by LeBron posting the boxing video of Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah.
Be like, bring it on.
It's a good rivalry.
It's a great rivalry.
It is a great rivalry. The other two ones
do you think that Stephen A. Smith and Pat McAfee don't like each other?
I think there was a report.
Definitely.
Because Stephen A. seemed very complimentary to Pat McAfee earlier.
I think the beef has been settled, but I think there was a beef 6 months ago.
Okay.
This also, Stephen A. was in a contract year, so I think he probably was, hangry all the time.
He's never been on McAfee's show.
Oh, he hasn't? I didn't know that.
No.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, that's not really like...
I know there was a report.
Let me confirm that, but...
Other two funny side pieces of the LeBron versation. I saw this tweet from Justin Termine. Sorry if I fucked up your name, dude. Termine Radio hosts the NBA Today 4 to 7 Eastern on Sirius XM. The most disturbing part of this entire interview was the amount of swearing for a guy who claims he understands his responsibility as a role model. very disturbing. Makes you appreciate guys like Steph Curry even more. Very disturbing.
Fact.
I was disturbed.
The part that I liked the most was the swearing.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes
Those
it
are the best
relatable.
words, yeah.
And then the other one was Hank, your boy Perk, down bad. Did you see that? Perk says that he blocked LeBron's number after LeBron unfollowed him on Twitter.
Perk is down bad. I mean, Perk also is like,
Does he understand what, like, blocking someone's number who never calls you and who just unfollowed you?
You're blocking somebody that already broke up with you.
I got your ass.
I was actually thinking about
That,
this.
it's
when
probably
I was,
so that he doesn't reach out to LeBron.
Yeah,
To stop himself.
You think Perk has LeBron in his phone as do not text?
Yeah, do not text. And you get a couple glasses of red wine and Perk. And
he got cut off from the Celtics too.
He did?
Yeah.
For what?
For like talking shit last year, being like break up the Jays and you know this team's not going to win a title, and so he's not even welcome back like within the organization really.
KD kind of roasted him too.
Yeah, no, he just burned all his bridges.
Damn. That's tough.
The swearing was bad.
Swearing was
bad.
No, it wasn't bad. It was very disturbing.
It was fucking awful.
It was very disturbing. Okay. MLB opening day. We're
Yeah.
going to talk with Jeff Passan in a minute about, I would say everyone should listen because he's great at giving us a lot of the nuggets, storylines, rookies that you got to watch out for so you can know before everyone else knows. How did everyone's MLB opening day go?
Tyler O'Neill hit a home run, so it went pretty good for me.
6 straight.
6 straight opening days.
Crazy.
He was just like, I have no idea what's going on with me after he hit this one.
He's automatic. Cubs are 1-0.
Phillies 1-0.
I'm not counting.
Cubs are 1-0?
I'm not counting Japan.
Yeah,
I'm not
but
counting Japan.
Max are 1-0 with an overtime win. So it's really, we got a point too.
We don't play hockey.
We're playing hockey. We're playing hockey
Hank?
today. I was pumped actually. I was pumped.
We want to know?
Yeah,
I was pumped. Mackenzie Gore had 13 strikeouts through 6 innings.
Yeah, he was.
and then
Yeah,
they
but
took him
Alec
out.
Boehm said after the game that it was because of shadows.
Oh.
Okay, well he also pitched there last year and he wasn't as good. So
Shadows,
I'll
4
take it.
o'clock. He was like,
How many
he was
strikeouts-
like, no game should ever be.
how many
be-
strikeouts did your guy have, Max?
You don't even your guy,
Yeah.
the best pitcher in the NL.
Yeah, how many strikeouts?
Your
did he
guy?
have?
Your guy?
I'm asking you a question.
Zach Wheeler, I think he had 9.
You haven't answered. Let's see. Let's look it up.
Memes, how was Soto's debut?
He got a hit in his first at bat.
How was his last at bat?
Not great.
Oh,
it
what
was a bad
happened?
strikeout.
Oh.
Yankees win today. We will win tomorrow.
What?
No, I'm just saying. Today was a win for the Yankees.
Oh.
They dominated.
Oh, are we keeping up? Are we doing game-by-game score on the Yankees versus
Yeah.
Soto? Okay. I'd like you to update that every time we do a show.
Today was the Yankees win.
All right, so when we do Sunday's show, I want Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Done.
The best pitcher in baseball had 8 strikeouts, Max. 8.
8 strikeouts, 6 innings, 1 run. That's
Mackenzie Gore had 13 strikeouts, 6 innings, and 0 runs. Which one's better?
7-3, the final score.
No, we're talking about pitching. We're talking about the starting pitchers, Max.
Okay,
But they got a point, too.
We got an overtime point.
you lost the game.
Oh, dude, learn how
You
scoring
lost
works,
the
Max.
game.
Matt, I have a question for Max and Hank. I actually already threw this out to PFT. We're going to talk about this with Jeff Passan because we were talking about rookies. Cam Smith. What, you don't like Jeff Passan? He might have had some words for you at the end. Cam Smith made the opening day roster for the Astros. He was part of the Kyle Tucker trade. A lot of Cubs fans are like, this sucks. Cam Smith's going to be awesome. I think I'm rooting for Cam Smith to win AL Rookie of the Year, and I might even bet it.
and the Masters.
And the Masters, because if he wins AL Rookie of the Year, then Tom Ricketts has to re-sign Kyle Tucker. Otherwise, it's one of the worst trades ever.
You think owners think that way?
I don't know, but I'm trying to think optimistic. It's early. It's opening day. Mm-hmm. Do you think that's stupid?
I don't think it's stupid. Whatever makes you feel better.
Well, everyone's inclination is if you trade a prospect, you don't want him to be incredible right away. But Kyle Tucker's on a 1-year deal, and the goal is to obviously re-sign him. If Cam Smith is incredible, and you're like, wow, we traded him.
I think what you're really hoping. Here, let me cut
that's
through.
preseason
It's Cope.
code.
Okay, all right. I was
let
just
me-
working it out.
I get
1
it.
doesn't equal 2.
I get it. I understand the sentiment entirely. But here's what you're doing. You're really hoping that your guy is good and that he stays around for a long time.
Well, Kyle Tucker is good.
But you hope that he continues to be good.
Right.
You don't want them to put like a Jason Hayward type contract on him when he appears to be good, just because you don't want to miss out on the guy that you traded away, and then that contract becomes something that you want to get rid of for the next 4 years.
But Kyle Tucker's good, and he's been good, and he's on the right side of 30. A little different than Jason Hayward.
What if Cam Smith wins Rookie of the Year and they don't re-sign Kyle Tucker?
Then it's a disaster.
But you're rooting for that?
I'm rooting for the pressure to be turned up to re-sign Kyle Tucker. And in reality, I know the other side of this is...
I guess you could apply that pressure.
Right. And the other side of this, which I've thought this all through, is the real way this is probably going to work out is Cam Smith will be great, and then Kyle Tucker won't get re-signed with the Cubs, and Tom Ricketts will... The only lesson he will learn from this is never trade prospects, and then we'll hold on to prospects forever, and they'll never be good.
That's also a possibility.
That's probably the reality. Listen, it was a dumb thought. I threw it out there. I don't know. It is cope, but I don't know.
I don't think it's a dumb thought. You have to protect yourself.
So maybe I should bet Cam Smith to win Rookie of the Year.
You have to protect yourself somehow.
Yeah.
I won't judge you for how you choose to do that.
Okay.
Kyle Tucker is very good.
Yes.
Kyle Tucker's a guy you want.
Yes. Long term.
Yes.
And I'd like them to do that. Dumb thought, but we'll see. Maybe I'll bet
Good
it.
thought.
Yeah.
Also, all the bad teams won today.
Yeah.
Or a lot of the bad teams won today. So you had the Marlins. They beat the Pirates. And then you had the White Sox beat the Angels. My method this year, I'm not going to be fading one team. I'm diversifying.
Oh.
So I'm going to be fading what I project to be the three worst teams in baseball, which would be the White Sox, the Marlins, and the Rockies. So I'm 0-2 on the season on that. Not off to a good start, but the season's young.
Season is young.
One day. Also, I saw some Yankees guys looking a little bit disheveled with the new grooming standards.
Clean it up.
I hope that the Yankees come out tomorrow and they say, yeah, when we told you that we relaxed the grooming standards, that was a test to see who is a true Yankee.
Yeah, who wants to be a Yankee?
And those of you that took advantage of that, see ya.
I like that.
Take a hike.
I like that. It was entrapment.
As entrapment, we got you.
We found out. We weeded it out. Cut all the guys that aren't true Yankees.
Yep.
I like your diversification, although it's the reverse Mark Titus. Our friend Mark Titus bet the Marlins parlayed with the White Sox to both win their respective divisions, $5 to win $350,000.
Pretty good.
Off to a 2-0 start.
If the season ended today, that would cash.
Would it? Did they beat division rivals? I don't know if it would. I don't know if it would. I'm looking at
the Marlins beat the Pirates.
And the Phillies also. Phillies won.
Yeah, the Phillies won an in-division game, so the Phillies were probably... Although technically, I'm looking right now, the Marlins are listed first and the White Sox are listed second, so...
Wow.
Might not work out.
Right there.
It's right there. He just needs 161 more of those from both teams, who are both going to lose over 100 games.
Definitely.
Okay, let's talk some more baseball. MLB Opening Day with Jeff Passan, and then we have Severance spoilers and Fyre Fest after Jeff Passan, and then we'll, get to that. Okay, before we get to Jeff Passan talking baseball, guess what? It is summertime. It's about to be summertime. It's spring, but it's about to be summer. And Truly Unruly is our drink of the summer. Truly Unruly is the first high ABV hard seltzer that actually tastes good. Truly Unruly is a hard seltzer that breaks all the rules. Drinks light, parties hard. With 8% ABV, it hits hard but still tastes amazing. Comes in 4 fresh flavors: tropical twist, berry blast, citrus crush, strawberry smash. My personal favorite. It's the official hard seltzer, pardon my take. Find Truly Unruly at a store near you or visit trulyhardseltzer.com. Like I said, it is spring. We're about to have golf coming. We're about to have beach coming. Baseball's back. Opening day. Truly Unruly. It's going to be truly an unruly summer with Truly Unruly. 8% ABV, hits hard, but still tastes amazing. Find Truly Unruly at a store near you or visit trulyhardseltzer.com. We're also brought to you by our friends at Tax Act. Can you believe we're getting to the end of March and your taxes are due on April 15th? Hank, do you have any tips?
Yeah, use taxact.com. They make it super easy. They got expert assist. They got everything you need to do your taxes.
Okay. Is it 100% credentialed and 100% US based?
Sure is.
Okay. What about, can you get the answers you need starting at $20?
You can.
Oh, wow. If you need a little help or a lot, can they answer all types of tax-related questions?
Everything. And all their experts are US based.
Okay, so get ready to go with TaxAct. It comes like that, where it's like, oh, March happens, and then you turn the calendar, boom, it's tax day. Make sure you get TaxAct and get yourself all squared away with TaxAct.com. Anything else, Hank?
It's crunch time and you want to get it right. TaxAct makes it easy so you can get them over with and be done for the season. Go
Okay.
to taxact.com.
Awesome. Thank you, Hank. Go to TaxAct.com. Okay, here he is talking baseball, Jeff Passan. Okay, we now welcome on a very special guest, friend of the program. It is Jeff Passan from ESPN. It is opening day. We're going to air this on Friday, so we're already going to see opening day, although technically the Cubs are 0-2. I told you in text that I'm just not going to acknowledge those two losses. I don't think they should count. They should have done an exhibition game. But it leads into my first question. For storylines going into this baseball season, are the Los Angeles Dodgers bad for baseball?
Everyone loves asking this question. And it's the problem with it is if I say yes, then I'm lying. But if I say no, then it infuriates everybody because I think fans of every team outside of the Dodgers believe that the Dodgers are bad for baseball. And I understand, like, I get the sentiment. They have an incredible team. They have a chance to win more games than any team in Major League Baseball history this season if they can manage to stay healthy. And when you put everything against the backdrop of that and of the fact that they're going to spend $500 million this year, when you've got a handful of teams that have payrolls under $100 million, and we're so conditioned to this parity salary-wise because the NFL and the NBA and the NHL all have salary caps, of course, it must be that the Dodgers are ruining the sport. And yet when I pull back and try and look at this rationally, they are playing in a collective bargaining agreement that was agreed to by all 30 owners. Now, I bring that up because they decided for this system.
Right.
What the Dodgers have done is they've taken the natural advantages that they've had and used them incredibly well. Like if the Dodgers sucked at developing players, or if the Dodgers sucked at analytics, or if the Dodgers sucked at any of the areas where they're actually good, they wouldn't be this seemingly unbeatable machine that we see right now. The problem is when you have a system that operates like Major League Baseball's, and then you have a team that not only has that financial advantage, but is incredibly smart with how it deploys its resources too, you have the opportunity for a team that looks unstoppable. Mm-hmm. And the only way to remedy that is not through a salary cap, because if Major League Baseball, when the collective bargaining agreement expires in December 2026, says the only way we're going to go back to playing again is under a salary cap system, we're not going to have baseball in 2027.
Right.
Like it is plain and simple. Players are not going to be bullied and cajoled into accepting a cap, because the notion that the cap is like this panacea that it's going to fix all of baseball's problems. No, a cap would not necessarily do that. It would help in some regards, but it wouldn't fix things.
Right.
And so because of that, I think we have to live with the idea that we've seen a team like the Dodgers in the past. They're called the New York Yankees. Mm-hmm. This was the narrative throughout the early 2000s, the late 90s, when salary disparity really started coming into baseball. And what the Yankees did is they spent themselves into a bad position. We've seen the New York Mets guys spend themselves into a bad place. Money does not necessarily equal success in Major League Baseball. It allows you to make mistakes, and it gives you opportunity at those high-level players that some teams just don't have access to. And that's not great. Like, if you want to say that part is bad, I would agree with you on that. But is it bad enough where you're going to put constraints in place that ultimately hurt the players, the people who we watch these games for? We don't watch it for the laundry. We watch it to watch incredible athletes do incredible things. And if you're trying to do something that harms them in the name of parity, you're barking up the wrong tree.
All right, so I'm going to wait for this season to happen to answer that last question. Is it bad enough that we need to change everything? Because if the Dodgers win like 125 games and then sweep their way to the World Series, then I'm just going to play the results and be like, yeah, it's broken. How many games do you think they actually can win? Because they won the World Series last year, and then they added a ton of pitching, and it feels like even if they have some injuries, they have guys that can step up. Like, realistically, is the record something that you could like be like, yeah, we could be talking about this in late August?
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at 116 games from the Seattle Mariners, and let's not forget that Mariners team bombed out like in the first round of the playoffs too. So that's like when I try to answer that question, are the Dodgers good or bad for baseball, right? One of the things I always go back to is that I can more or less guarantee that the Dodgers are going to be in the postseason. And there are only 12 playoff spots, so there's a lot of value in that. But let's look past 2024 and back to 2023. They got swept in the first round by the Arizona Diamondbacks. Let's look back to 2022. They got beaten by the San Diego Padres. Let's look back beyond 2020 when they won the COVID World Series. They hadn't won a World Series since 1988, and they have been spending not quite to this level, but pretty similarly over that time. And so the great equalizer in baseball is that its postseason is just kind of a crapshoot. Like, even the best team is going to go into a series with like a 60% chance of winning, not a whole lot higher than that. Right now, if you look at the Dodgers, like the most favorable projections have them at like a 25% chance to win the World Series. Now, if you ask me, would you take the Dodgers or the field? Even though the numbers suggest otherwise, I'd probably still say the Dodgers, just because beyond their stars, guys, they have so much depth in the organization, and depth matters. Depth allows you to weather the injuries. Depth allows you to weather the ineffectiveness from some guys you might not have expected. And that's one thing the Dodgers have done incredibly well. They have developed players who can either step in for free agents who leave or be there when guys get hurt.
Yeah.
I think they might be bad for baseball, though, because here's why. Hear me out. Now we're not complaining about the Yankees being bad for baseball. We're complaining about the Dodgers being bad for baseball. And I miss that. I miss being able to do that. You were talking about the salary, obviously with a league that doesn't have the same salary cap like the NFL does. It's not built for parity. Has there been more discussion about the salary floor and having a high salary floor? So some of these teams that, get away with not spending any money at all, some would say it's disrespectful to their fan base. They're just printing money. They know they don't have to win to make money. Has there been a discussion about incorporating that into the next CBA?
A floor comes with a cap comes with a floor. The two shall never be separated. Right. And, as somebody who looks at like the Pittsburgh Pirates and sees Paul Skeens on a near minimum contract and sees Jared Jones before he got hurt, but Mitch Keller, they've got Bubba Chandler coming up. Like, the Pirates have an incredible pitching staff, and they didn't do shit this offseason. And it, like, I should be the person who's yelling about this because I live in Kansas City, because I grew up in Cleveland, because I embody like the Midwestern thought process when it comes to sports. And, when you have a team like the Pirates, I look at them and I'm like, try just once, just once, please go out and try to field a winning team. I look at Cleveland. They traded Andres Jimenez, lost Josh Naylor this offseason. They won the American League Central last year. Another team didn't do shit. And it just bothers me as a sports fan and somebody who loves nothing more than widespread competitiveness that some of these teams that are in position to go out and potentially win World Series don't treat their seasons like it. It's disrespectful to fans. It's disrespectful to the game. And listen, I would love for there to be a salary floor in place in order to force some of these teams to go and spend. We saw this offseason, the Oakland A's actually went out. The A's, not Oakland anymore. Yeah. But the A's went out this offseason and spent some money. And the reason PFT they did that is because they were in position for the Major League Baseball Players Association to file a grievance for them not spending enough of their revenue sharing money. Now, that was enough of a threat for them to go out and spend, but it wasn't seemingly enough of a threat for the Miami Marlins, who were in the same position, to go out and do that. And I understand if you're going to like pull back and do a full rebuild, it kind of makes sense just to bottom out what your payroll is going to be. But that doesn't make the game better.
Right.
And when too many teams are doing that, when the lack of incentives to win are in place, it's problematic for the sport, which is why I think MLB and the Players Association in particular did a really good job in the past collective bargaining agreement of draft pick penalties, where you can't pick multiple years in a row inside of the lottery if you are at a certain salary level or a certain market level. So there are little things that are helping, but they haven't like solved the problem at this point yet. And it's why when we get to that collective bargaining time, like you need smart people in the room to make decisions that positively impact the sport writ large.
Yeah. All right. So let's do NL AL. So NL is I would say is more, top heavy than the AL. It feels like obviously you have the Dodgers, the Mets spent a lot of money. The Braves are getting a bunch of guys back, including Acuna. So in the NL, is there a team that you have circled as like, hey, this is a team that no one's looking at that could possibly break through this Mets, Dodgers, Braves, possibly Phillies, Diamondbacks, like top of the NL that looks top heavy?
I think people are sleeping on Cincinnati a little bit. Ellie De La Cruz has a chance to be a super duper star, and Matt McClain, who's the second baseman there, was out all of last season. He's an all-star caliber player, and Hunter Green at the front of their rotation, and they're managed by Terry Francona, who all he's done throughout his career is win. The Reds sort of stagnated last year. I think I might have picked them to win the Central last year, but in a division as wide open as that is, I like a team that has some youth on its side. I like a team that has a little bit of energy going on, and the Reds feel like they could be that team this year, because you're right. In the National League, you've got your clearly established teams that are either going to be good all the way to great. In the East, it's the Braves, the Phillies, and the Mets. In the Central, I don't know if anyone's good. All five could win that division, frankly. And in the West, the Dodgers clearly at the top, but the Diamondbacks had the best offense in baseball last year and added Corbin Burns, the best free agent starting pitcher this offseason. The Padres still have a ton of talent and did a good job adding Nick Pivetta to a rotation that really needed another starter. And the Giants are an improved team, and it'll be interesting to see, A, how Willy Adames plays there, and B, how much Justin Verlander, who's like well into his 40s now, has left.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So in that Central, we got to check in on the health of our guy, Christian Yelich. He's very important to this podcast for reasons we could get into with you, but I don't think you want to hear about.
Well, actually, let's ask him if there's no way you're aware of what we have with Christian Yelich. I hope you're not doing your job if you're aware of it.
I am happy to say that I am not aware.
It's for the best.
So please
it's
enlighten me.
So he had back surgery, right? Are we thinking that a guy like Christian Yelich would be able to compete in the home run derby this year?
I don't give a shit about that. Why do you?
Oh, we do.
What's the connection?
It's very important.
If Christian Yelich ever wins a home run derby in his career, we have to eat each other's asses. Yeah.
Okay, I do suddenly give a shit.
Yeah, right. It's very important to us.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
Could he compete? I don't know if he could, but I do know that I have some favors to call in.
Well, there was a year that he hurt his back right before, so this all comes from he's been a friend of ours for a while now, and we first had him on, I think, 2017, and we were joking with him that he doesn't really have a good home run swing, and it was also the time that there was a porn going around where the guy in the porn was a doppelganger for Christian Yelich. It looked exactly like him, and we brought it up to him. He's like, yeah, I get tagged in it a lot. And then it just went to that, the old, like, I'll eat my column. PFT and I were like, well, we'll eat each other's asses. So, but you're saying he probably can't.
No, I'm not. In fact, I'm rooting really hard for it now. I'm gonna make sure that like the juice, like the especially juice balls are there for him.
Shit.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay. All right. So the AL.
I feel like after I watched the latest White Lotus last night.
Yeah.
I feel like this is like
Yeah.
it's a very White Lotus conception.
We'll turn
PG.
some people off.
So in the in the NL, can you give us like who do you think who should we be keeping an eye on for rookies, like upstarts that we're going to want to know their names, but we know their names now because you just gave them to us.
Yeah.
You know, the rookie class this year is not all that great. On the National League side, the guy who I picked, I mentioned him a little earlier, is Bubba Chandler with the Pirates. And I think you guys will, I don't know if you saw this story, but I think you'll appreciate it. So Paul Skeens, you know, probably the best pitcher in baseball right now after less than a year in the big leagues, gets named opening day starter for the Pirates. And Bubba Chandler was a guy who I think he went to Clemson to play football, got drafted, was a two-way player, like just an extraordinarily athletic guy, but Pirates made him a full-time pitcher, fastball up to 100 now, great breaking stuff, good control and command. Like he's going to be a guy. I picked him to win Rookie of the Year this year, but on the day Paul Skeens was named opening day starter, he got a text from Bubba Chandler, and I don't have the exact words, but it essentially said, enjoy it while it lasts because next year I'm going to be starting opening day.
Wow, I love that.
Like, I adore that. The guy hasn't thrown a pitch in the big leagues yet, and he's got the balls to text the guy who is best at what they do right now and say, get out of my way. And that's that. I mean, it's confidence, it's swag.
That's a dog.
A big Bubba Chandler fan already.
Yeah, it's a great Bubba move too.
Yeah.
I like my Bubba's a little cocky.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so what about the AL rookies? Because PFT's right. We just need to basically come away from this, and our listeners do, where they can just say, "Oh yeah, you hear about Bubba Chandler? He might be better than Paul Skeens," and everyone's like, "Damn, you know ball."
Christian Campbell is my pick for the American League. He started off this season as potentially the second baseman or the favorite going in for the Red Sox after being minor league player of the year last year. And he just kind of stunk at the beginning of spring training. And there was, the gloss wore off a little bit, but the Red Sox believe in the bat. And I understand why. It's an unorthodox swing, but he's got incredible contact skills. And, through this work, I wrote a story about this earlier this spring on Roman Anthony, Marcelo Meyer, and Campbell, the big three prospects with the Red Sox. And Boston's doing like a bit different form of training of hitters than there used to be. And hitting has fallen so far behind pitching in Major League Baseball that it is one of those things that's kind of broken and could use some fixing. And I think these guys with Campbell actually winding up making the Red Sox opening day roster, playing at second base, forcing Alex Bregman over to third and Rafael Devers to be DH. He's the favorite, I would say at this point. Do not sleep on Jackson Jobe, right-hander with the Detroit Tigers, who's in their rotation, as well as Cam Smith, who, Big Cat, I think you might know Cam Smith's name. He was one of the players who went to the Houston Astros in the Kyle Tucker trade. And less than a year after being drafted, he's making the Astros opening day roster and is going to be their starting right fielder and was one of the best hitters in the Grapefruit League this spring.
Oh, that'll be fun when the Cubs don't re-sign Kyle Tucker.
Yeah.
That's going to be a lot of fun. When Ricketts is like, oh, I can't find the money for it. We just have so many restaurants and luxury seating in Wrigley now.
We'll get back to Jeff Passan in a second. He's brought to you by Noble. If you're going to work out, you've got to try Noble footwear. I'm wearing them right now. I've been wearing them all week. They're great for working out. Went on a run wearing my Nobles. Very lightweight, very comfortable, great support. Legs felt great afterwards. Feet felt awesome. They make the best shoes, the most comfortable for both in the gym and on the go. With options across training and lifestyle, Noble has options for everyone. They look great too. That's the thing. I was wearing them yesterday. Got a compliment. Second I stepped into the office, they were like, damn, what are those, PFT? Nice shoes. I said, yep, they're Nobles. Exclusively for Part of My Take listeners, Noble is offering 30% off your order. Visit www.nobleproject.com/PMT and get 30% off your entire order. That's NOBULLPROJECT.com/PMT and get 30% off your entire order. Jeff's also brought to you by Experian. Madness in March is good. Madness in credit is bad. To take control of your credit and finances, make sure that you pick the Experian app. Experian could be your financial Cinderella with tons of free tools at your fingertips to help you take control of your financial life. The amount of free tools that you get with Experian could fill a bracket with things like your free FICO score. You could boost your FICO score instantly for free with Experian Boost. You get free credit monitoring with alerts to keep you in the know on changes to your profile and free access to a marketplace of credit card, loan, and auto insurance options, all matched to you. Plus, you can freeze your credit file for free, helping protect you against identity theft. Make sure you're ready for your one shining moment with Experian. Go to the App Store and download the free Experian app today. Results will vary. See App Store for details. Go to the App Store, download the free Experian app now. And now here's more Jeff Passan.
All right, so who's going to win the AL? Like that, it is wide open. Does it not? It feels like, especially with Garrett Cole getting hurt, Giancarlo Stanton, I don't even think we count it as an injury because it's kind of to be expected. So it's not
I guess so, but it's a weird injury too.
What is
it? He's got issues with both elbows.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. We talked about this.
Yeah,
remember?
That's right.
My dog had the same thing. I can give you a little bit of insight. My dog had bilateral elbow injuries. Fixed him up. He spent about 3 months in a crate. Gave him a lot of trazodone, anxiety medication. He wore a cone. Then he got out. He's good as new now. So have the Yankees considered putting him in a crate?
With trazodone.
Giancarlo Stanton in a cone of shame would be something really.
No, it is a weird. It's a really strange thing for a baseball player to have like both elbows give out at the exact same time. But do the Yankees still have hope? Because they've got some really really good players. They've got a good roster still.
Yeah. The Yankees' hope is the fact that they reside in the American League. Because if you drop them into the National League, they're 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th best team. Before Garrett Cole needed Tommy John surgery, I still had the Yankees winning the American League East. I do not have that as the case anymore. I don't have them making the playoffs. And I feel like this is like potential asshole zone for me because I didn't have them making the playoffs last year either. And they made it to the World Series. It's not that I'm like a Yankee hater because I don't think that's the case. I just look at them and there's so few things with the Yankees that I can point at and say, yes, that is going to happen. I know Aaron Judge is going to have a very good year as long as he's healthy. He has consistently done so and is going to be in the Hall of Fame and is the best hitter in baseball right now. But beyond that, do I know that Austin Wells is going to be a success at leadoff hitter? I do not. Do I know that Jazz Chisholm is going to take that leap forward we've been waiting years for? No. Don't know that either. Don't know about Anthony Volpe or Jason Dominguez. Have no idea if we're going to get 2023 or 2024 Cody Bellinger. Does Paul Goldschmidt have anything left? Can Carlos Rodon be a top of the rotation guy? How does Max Fried, who's been consistently awesome throughout his career in Atlanta, transition to New York? All of these different things that are up in the air give me pause about the Yankees, but I'll also acknowledge that if a few of these things hit right, the Yankees very easily could not only win the American League East, but could win the pennant again. Like, this is a team whose ceiling is pretty high still, even after the Cole injury. But the floor happens to be lower, I think, than it is in typical years for the Yankees.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what other teams in the AL should we be looking out for in terms of like, hey, this team, maybe people aren't talking about them, but this is a team that if everything goes right, they could be in the mix come October.
I apologize for doing like a long checklist here, but that's how wide open the American League is. It's like, I mean, you can make an argument for every team. Tampa Bay, Shane McClanahan turns out isn't that hurt, coming back from Tommy John surgery now and headlining a really good rotation and an excellent bullpen. Junior Caminero with the Rays is going to be a superstar, and this is going to be his first full season playing. So I could see the Rays doing it. The Blue Jays, I have them at the bottom of the AL right now, but But if Vlad Guerrero and Bo Bichette have the years that they have, Vlad last year and Bo the years before that, they're both impending free agents. They could lead the team to the playoffs. The Red Sox, I have winning the division. I feel good about what they did, getting Garrett Crochet and Alex Bregman this winter. And let's not forget about the Orioles, who won 101 games a couple years ago and made the playoffs last season. I think people are sleeping on them a little bit. In the Central, the Twins, bad year last year, always questions about health, but they've got a lot of slug in that lineup, and they're starting pitching with Pablo Lopez and Bailey Ober at the top of that rotation. They have a chance to be pretty good. Kansas City made the playoffs last year. Great pitching, and my pick for American League MVP, Bobby Witt Jr. I've got Detroit winning the Central with Tarek Skubal and so many other great starting pitchers in that rotation. And A.J. Hinch is a manager just like he gets how to construct lineups and use the platoon advantage in his favor. Cleveland won the division last year. I'm not really on them, but they're also one of those teams that surprises. Seattle, playoffs 2 years ago, 88 and 85 wins the last 2 seasons, a great starting rotation. And today they signed Cal Raleigh to an extension. Cal Raleigh's nickname is Big Dumper because he's got a fat ass. And it's honestly, it's the best nickname in baseball right now. And love him as a player, won a platinum glove, leader in the clubhouse. The A's are going to be better this year. I'm not sure if they're a playoff team quite yet. The Astros seemingly always are a playoff team. And trading Kyle Tucker and getting Cam Smith back, in addition to Isaac Paredes, who's going to absolutely abuse the short porch in left field. The Astros still have a chance to be good. But the team I'm picking to win the pennant is the Texas Rangers. They won the World Series 2 years ago. They were pretty awful last year, but they get Jacob deGrom back to headline their rotation this season. Kumar Rocker and Jack Leiter, both really good young arms. And when you look at the lineup, that Corey Seager and Marcus Semien up the middle, Josh Young at third base, they traded for Jake Berger at first base, Wyatt Langford, Evan Carter in the outfield. They have good catching with Jonah Heim and Kyle Higashioka, like on and on and on. If the Rangers bullpen can perform, or if at the trade deadline they can go out and get some high-end relief arms, I think they have probably the highest ceiling in the league.
Okay, so there were 2 teams you didn't mention. White Sox we don't have to talk about because they're a joke. Jerry Reinsdorf should sell the team. The other one, Mike Trout, he's going to be back.
Yeah.
Is there any chance we get Mike Trout on a different team? Could this be the year?
I remember I went to spring training with the Angels on the day Trout was going to talk 2 years ago for the first time. And it had been coming off a season where he'd gotten hurt, which has been sadly like an all too frequent thing lately. And we posed him the question, do you have any inclination to leave? Would you waive your no trade clause to go to a contender? And he said, I feel like I have unfinished business here. Now, he hasn't said anything to the contrary since. But, guys, we got to remember, Mike Trout is 33 years old now. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say he's entirely past his prime because I think if we have a full healthy year of Mike Trout, he can still be a guy who puts up 1,000 OPS and looks like one of the best players in the game. But he's been around for 14 years now. He's had 14 years of Artie Moreno bullshit. And it just goes to show you the importance of ownership. I don't know if this is the same way in other sports. You guys can tell me in football especially, because I don't know who's considered the good owners or the bad owners in football, but the way that Artie Moreno has run the Los Angeles Angels in the 20 or so years he's owned the team, and especially over the last decade and a half since Mike Trout's been around, let's look at it this way. They had Mike Trout in his prime with Shohei Ohtani for 6 years, and they did not make the postseason once.
Crazy.
That is, it's insane.
It's malpractice.
And as somebody who was, the biggest Mike Trout stan imaginable during his best years, the year that Miguel Cabrera wins the Triple Crown, I'm arguing that Trout should have been MVP anyway, because I that wasn't just a hot take. He was a better player that year. What Cabrera did was incredible. Trout was just better than him. It saddens me that Mike Trout might never know what winning feels like.
Yeah.
Because what are we doing this for? What's the whole purpose of athletes going out. There's the individual accomplishment that you want. There are the goals you set and that you try to meet. And that gives you some feeling of fulfillment. But at the end of the day, you want to win something with the people who you spend 7 or 8 months in close proximity with some of your best friends in the world, because coming together as a team and achieving something like that beats anything you can do individually. And Mike Trout simply has never had that in his professional career.
Yeah.
He won the Super Bowl this year, though.
He did win
He's
a Super
pumped
Bowl
for his
this
Eagles.
year.
Yeah. But you're right.
Yeah.
It's like, how could that not get to you on a day-to-day, year-to-year basis? You go to work every day. You don't win. Your teammates are bummed out a lot. I would like to see him win. I'd like to see Mike Trout go to a better place, a place that'll take care of him. I don't know what team that would be, where he would want to go, but yeah, maybe the unfinished business is like, yeah, they send me my check every 2 weeks, and it's a pretty good check.
Yeah.
So I'm going to continue with that business. But with the Angels, do you think is Rendon going to play at all this year for them?
No, Rendon had surgery, so he will not be playing.
He is not.
That guy.
Yeah.
That guy's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, he really, really is amazing. Like there were 2 contracts the winter he signed with the Angels that were for 7 years and $245 million. It was Anthony Rendon and it was Steven Strasburg. And the total production that their teams are going to get for the $500 million or so that they spent on those players, it's unbelievable. And it shows why, like, owners in baseball are so hesitant to give out deals like that. I get it, because they can go sideways so fast. And in Rendon's case, like, I'm not going to say he never liked playing baseball, because I don't think that's true, but it was never like his passion. It was never what he lived for. He was never like a grinder. He was just extraordinarily talented at something, got paid an obscene amount of money, and hasn't been able to get back out there.
Yeah. What about the Astros? I feel like the Astros, no matter what we do, we'll never get rid of the Astros. They're always going to be hanging around. They're going to be pesky. They're going to be showing up in the postseason. Is this like the last dance for that core group of guys that's been around for a while?
I mean, there's no one left, really. Like, after Bregman left this offseason, it's like Jose Altuve and Lance McCullers are really the only ones left from the cheating team. And you know, Altuve is going to be there forever. Like, he's the Astro of lifetime Astros, but they still have Yordan Alvarez, who is one of the best hitters in baseball. And adding Cam Smith has sort of reinvigorated potentially that lineup. And they've still got Framber Valdez, Spencer Arrighetti, Hunter Brown. Like, the Astros have done a good job of developing starting pitching, as you saw Carlos Correa and George Springer and some of the core, Alex Bregman, the core guys of not just the cheating championship, but the one they won after that as well. But yeah, the Astros, they're an interesting organization, because it's one of those teams where people from other organizations love shitting on the Astros, like, absolutely love it. And I think some of it goes back to the cheating, but some of it, they just don't believe that they're particularly well run. And yet they make that trade with Tucker and it's immediately paying dividends.
Yeah. All right, Jeff, I got one last question for you. This has been fun. I'm ready for baseball. There's always something about opening day it feels good. It's a fun day. Rowback question.
Big Cat, you know what it is? It is spring telling us it has arrived.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what it is. In spring, I don't know how you guys feel about spring, but living in the Midwest, spring is when the sun starts coming out.
Yeah.
I walk outside in spring. I can wear shorts and a t-shirt, and not like my asshole kids who wear shorts and t-shirts like in the middle of the winter, because I don't know when it happened that children's skin suddenly became impervious to cold weather.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a new generation thing. I don't know if your kids are like that.
Oh yeah, my
too,
kids
Dan.
fight me with coats every day, and it's just like, it's like 10 degrees. I'm like, you need a coat. They're like, it's not that cold. It's like, what are you talking about?
But no, you go outside and you see the sun every day. And I think that's why opening day feels good, because it is introducing us to the season that makes us happy.
Yeah, I'd agree. All right. So rowback question, RHOBACK.com, promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase, Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts, rowback.com, promo code TAKE.
Good hoodies.
Yeah, very good hoodies. The best hoodies.
Great hoodies.
All right, so I know you don't watch as much of the other sports, but I assume that you are at least generally aware of Travis Hunter, who played for Colorado this year, going to be a top pick, Heisman Trophy winner. If you had to just make just a gun to your head, Travis Hunter or Shohei Ohtani, who's more impressive at what they're doing?
Shohei Ohtani, because he has done it at the big league level. And by the way, to be clear, Travis Hunter absolutely should play cornerback and wide receiver in the NFL. 100%. If you have the ability to have a guy out there who can impact both sides of the ball, why would you limit him from doing so? Particularly if he's on a rookie contract, which is short enough where you're not locking him up long term and you're not going to have any of like the wear and tear issues later on in life. It's the NFL. You can get rid of him anyway. Contracts aren't guaranteed. But Ohtani being elite at both levels, at the highest level of baseball. If Travis Hunter can be an all-pro cornerback and an all-pro wide receiver in the same season, get back to me and we'll have a conversation. And I am not minimizing in any way. He's awesome. I love watching him play, but it's just a matter of levels, I think.
Counterpoint, Ohtani doesn't tackle anybody.
And Ohtani has never won a Heisman.
Both true. Hunter's never won an MVP, and I'd like to see him hit a 95-mile-per-hour fastball or throw a ball 95.
Good point.
Good counterpoint.
Yeah, our producer Hank is an idiot, and he said that he thought Travis Hunter was more impressive than Shohei, and we were like, "Hey,
yeah,
dude,
I didn't know your analingus Christian Yelich story, but I did know that Hank's a dipshit, so I got that.
Perfect. Well, Jeff, thank you. Oh, when is Ohtani going to start pitching again?
He's been shut down for like a month now, so he's going to have to build up. And let's remember, he's coming off of his second elbow reconstruction, so the Dodgers are going to take it easy with him. And they also have so much pitching depth that they really don't need him. So is it going to happen in May as expected? It could, but I think it all just really depends on how his elbow responds, and we're going to get a much better sense of that over the next month or so.
That's such a flex for the Dodgers to be like, hey, it'd be nice to have you pitch, but we don't need you.
Yeah, we don't need it.
Yeah. It's all good.
Oh, man.
I had one last thing about Mookie Betts, because I've been reading about Mookie Betts. Did he lose 25 pounds? Did he have the flu? He went down from like 185 to 160?
Yeah, I don't think it was quite that much weight, and I don't think it was the flu. They haven't said what it is specifically, but the sense is he's going to play in their actual opening day stateside. So listen. Baseball is better when Mookie Betts is good.
Yeah.
And I hope nothing but a full recovery there, and us seeing him, even if the Dodgers are bad for baseball, like seeing Mookie Betts out there is a good thing for everyone.
Agreed.
Yeah.
That's why it's not fair, because Mookie Betts is so likable and he's playing for the team that everyone should hate. It's like, God damn it, I want to hate you. But yeah, I hope he's okay too.
Yeah. All right. Well, Jeff, thank you so much. Appreciate you coming on. We'll maybe talk to you in the middle of the season. And I feel like we got some good Bubba Chandler. Bubba Chandler.
Yep.
Bubba Chandler.
Bubba. I just call him Bubba.
Watch out. Hey, Paul Skeens is good, but Bubba Chandler might be better.
You know what? Paul Skeens is great, but Bubba Chandler has it.
Yeah, that's it. we got it. That's the takeaway.
Yeah. You can't
I look
teach
forward to talking with you guys on the day that Home Run Derby rosters are released.
Yes.
I have my mission for the 2025
You said it.
season now.
The hardest thing to do the hardest thing to do in sports is to hit a baseball. That's impossible for Christian Yelich.
Yeah,
to
can't
hit
do it.
Baseballs that many times.
Can't do it. All right. Thanks so much, Jeff.
Thanks, boys. Appreciate you having me.
Jeff Passan was brought to you by Venmo. It is Venmo season. One of the most important times of the year to have Venmo. March. We got Venmo with us all throughout March. Sign up for the Venmo debit card in seconds, and you can add your card instantly to Apple Pay or Google Pay to use your balance right away with no monthly fee, no minimum balance requirement. Makes it super easy for splitting checks at a restaurant, at a bar. Guess what? Have them Venmo you, and then you can put it on your Venmo debit card. Earn up to 5% cash back at top brands when you shop with the Venmo debit card. Whether you're splitting the bar tab or snacks for the watch party at home, use Venmo debit card for the game day assist. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp N.A., pursuant to license by MasterCard International Incorporated. Dosh offer terms apply. Start spending your Venmo balance instantly with the Venmo debit card. Sign up today at venmo.com/card/apply. Fyre Fest of the week is going to be brought to you by Morgan and Morgan. Morgan and Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. There's a reason why coffee is the first thing people reach for in the morning, just why there's a reason why Morgan & Morgan is America's top injury law firm. For over 35 years, Morgan & Morgan has been fighting for the people, just like you and I. They have over 100 offices, more than 1,000 lawyers nationwide. When hiring Morgan & Morgan, it's like hiring an army that has your back. If you're injured by the negligence of another, you deserve to be paid. When you hire the wrong law firm, you may be beat before you start. All law firms are not the same. If you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/PMT or dial pound law, pound 529 from your cell phone. That's forthepeople.com/PMT or pound law, pound 529 from your cell.
Okay, let's wrap up. We got Fyre Fest of the week. Henry.
Yeah.
Oh, also, do you want to do Severance?
Yeah.
Oh, Severance recap. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like this.
Max cried.
Max, what part did you cry in when he got reunited with his wife?
Yep.
Yeah,
Exact
yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, Severance. Spoilers. Skip this part if you haven't watched it, but you also probably have watched it.
Good call. Thank God we got that.
So you cried?
Yeah, it's an emotional part. You think, imagine thinking that your wife is dead for such a long period of time, and then like that first moment that you actually realize that she's alive. Like, how could you possibly put yourself into that situation? It's got to be an unbelievably emotional moment.
I got misty eyed. I don't think there were any tears.
No,
but I felt
misty eyed.
That, you know that wave that you get. Yeah,
Right.
Welled up.
I laughed when Marquez shot the big dude in the
That was
neck.
hilarious.
That
Yeah.
was so fucking funny.
Yeah.
And just screaming at the other lady.
Yeah.
I thought I thought there was a moment Hank was going to be right, that there was just going to that he was going to go on a killing spree and just kill everybody down there, and I was like, oh my God, we laughed at Hank, but he was right.
I thought what I wanted was Helly to kill her dad, and they kind of as that was happening, I was like, oh my God, and then obviously she didn't.
Oh, she picked up a pen.
Yeah, it was weird she didn't, low key. And then you guys were like, you just want Game of Thrones. Brienne of Tarth. We got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got the Game of Thrones. Like that was also electric. Although the goats thing, explain the goats.
They
The goats were sacrificed.
They sacrifice him with anytime someone dies at Lumen, which seems like a decent amount of times because I have a lot of goats out there. They sacrifice the goat with the person and it takes them to heaven or something.
Did you also notice that in the earlier episode where they had the goats and the people that look after the goats, they asked the people from the outside, from Macro Data Refining, do you guys have pouches?
Yeah.
They were looking for oldie.
Yeah.
That's what they were like, lift up your shirt, let me see your bags. What Hank, I think, is referring to, and I agree with Hank low-key, I thought that Helly was Helena on the inside during that episode, at least at the start, until she kind of teams up with Mark and he goes on a separate way. I thought that we were going to see Audi Helly on the inside again.
She can't be outie down on that floor though.
No,
Yeah,
she
she
was.
She was earlier
Wait,
this
when?
season. Earlier this season.
She banged Mark in the teepee.
Yeah.
No, that was when she was innie.
No.
No.
That was Audi.
You're not paying attention.
You're not paying attention. You
Hold
don't
on.
get it.
Hold on. Whoa.
Yeah,
whoa,
Big Cat missed
whoa.
a big part of this season.
Mark
No,
banged
whoa.
any Helly and Audi.
I know
Helly.
that.
He's got two bodies on
I
one
know that.
body.
He had a threesome.
The Audi one was outside.
No.
No,
but that whole until that outside moment, the whole beginning of the season,
I understand.
That was Audi Helly.
She was
I
still Audi.
understand.
No, you don't, because she was Audi Helly when she was on the inside.
She went undercover.
Yeah, that entire part of the season. Even on the inside, not just on the Ortbo.
He fucked Audi Helly outside.
Yes, but he also hung
Then
out
he
with
fucked
Audi.
any Helly inside.
Wait, he also hung out with Audi Helly.
Correct.
For the first couple episodes of the season.
I get
on the
that,
inside.
but they fucked on the inside. That was any Helly.
Yes.
You guys just told me I was wrong for that.
No.
I literally
but
just said
No,
that.
we didn't.
No, but the Orpo is also
No,
technically
you just
inside.
said that. You guys just told me that
You
I was
said that-
wrong for saying that she fucked Audi Helly outside and any Helly inside.
No,
But
we said that
when you say outside, you mean it would still.
I know I might have been wrong that she can't be switched back, but I literally just said she fucked any Helly inside.
yeah,
Yeah, she
We knew
fucked both
that.
of
You guys just said I was wrong for that.
I don't
you
think
said,
we did.
No, you said you can't. She can't go Audi down there.
But they fucked
can.
outside.
Yes.
Out, that was Audi Helly.
Correct.
But
we're
any
talking
Mark.
about two different things here.
I understand.
Well, you said Audi Helly can't go downstairs.
I'm now remembering the beginning of the season.
Mm-hmm.
She was faking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that's what we were seeing.
When was that?
That was like the first couple episodes. When Irving was getting mad suspicious, when he was like, you saw Night Gardner?
Yeah.
When she said that she saw Gardner when she got that glimpse of the outside, when
That's
they did
right.
the override control.
Yeah.
That's
the
when
outdoor
Irving was like, I'm beginning to keep my eye on you. And then he tried to kill her because he knew that she was outside. I thought we were going to see Audi Helly. I thought that's who we were seeing at the start of the finale. I thought she had done it again because it was a very important day.
I feel like the real theory is that it's Audi Helly at the end of the episode
Yeah.
because
That
she
brings
looked
him back
back
in.
and smiled
Yeah.
at Gemma, and Irv said Innie Helly was never cruel, and it was kind of a cruel looking smile when she looked at Gemma and was like, I won.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when I was watching the episode at the start. I think this is Audi Helly. And then she didn't kill her dad, and she kind of like nudged Mark to go on and go downstairs and do that whole shit. And I was like, maybe I was wrong, maybe it's not. And then at the end I was like, yeah, that kind of seems like Audi Helly.
So people think that once they realized that Mark was down there and getting Gemma, that they switched
The Glasgow block.
the block, that at the very end they made her Audi Helly,
Okay.
but it was Innie Helly the rest of the episode.
So now I just wonder what they're going to do in the episode or season 3.
Yeah.
It's like going to be him and Helly just like holed up in a room with like a bunch of dead people and like blood everywhere.
It's got to
No,
be
I
like
think-
5 seconds into them running down the hallway. They're like, whoops.
No, I think they already kind of set it up with the dad being like, he likes Innie Helly.
He sees Kier in her.
and he's going to probably maybe try and convert Mark. Like, they're going to try and convert Innie Helly and Innie Mark to convince them that if they roll with the Kiers, then they can stay together.
Yeah, I really like the scene where Mark was arguing with himself on the video camera, like
That was
stepping
awesome.
outside the room.
That
That
was
was
great.
a really good way to do it. And I don't think I could win an argument with myself. I think that's a very hard thing to do,
No.
right? That's how I feel when I'm deciding to bet on a basketball game.
I don't know why he didn't just mention the Pete. Like, there was a mutual friend there
Yeah.
that could have
But
helped
he
bridge
doesn't.
the gap.
But Audi Mark doesn't fully understand how close any Mark was with Pete.
I guess.
Because he like just went. It was a crazy guy who had nosebleeds, who then went to his funeral.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense because that did make sense to me. The other thing that it was 2 episodes ago, it kind of bled into this one that still just makes no sense to me. I hope they like flash back to it is the fact that Coble and Mark and his sister just sat in the woods for 10 hours.
Arguing.
They weren't even, but what did they talk about? Like, why did they have to show up to the forest or like,
I don't know if it was 10 hours, but yeah.
they got there in the morning and then they cut back and it was nighttime. Like, all right, time to
Well,
go.
it's always winter.
True.
Yeah.
It's always winter.
And what is it about the birthing center that they put the like geofencing in that can switch you back from Indy to Audi?
Yeah, that was weird. And then the
Well, it's so that women don't remember that they went through the pain again.
Okay.
That was the whole. Remember the crazy governor's wife? She had no recollection of the sister because she went in there so she didn't have to actually give birth.
when Innie Mark told Cobell that Irving knew where the testing floor was, like, she got scared. That made me think that Cobell's going to flip again.
Yeah.
Because she was like, oh, yeah,
was
Irving
looking-
knows
she was
where the
looking
floor is. And she
hot.
goes, wait. She was basically like, wait, what?
She was looking nice in front of that fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did. She looked real good.
Real nice.
She gave you those eyes.
Real nice. I was pissed that I don't know. I guess he had to make that decision because they're two different people, but I was mad.
Yeah.
I really
mad
liked
at
the
him.
episode. I thought it was one
I did too.
of the best episodes.
I was just
I've
pissed at
seen.
him. I was just like, you motherfucker, you've come all this way. But he also that's the great part about the show is these two people that are independent of each other. Like, he's making a decision for his own existence, not realizing that there's a guy out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and think about it, if you're the Innie Mark and you turn around and you see I guess you would think it was what was her name? The health woman. Not Gemma.
Miss, what was her name?
I
Miss
can't
something.
remember. Fuck.
Huang?
No.
Miss Casey?
Yes, Miss Casey. So you just see Miss Casey yelling at it through a door, being like, "Come out, please come out."
There's got to be a way where he can have both.
Yeah.
Episode 3 is just all threesomes.
Well, I could see them like figuring out a way because obviously if Cobell invented the chip, could she like flip a switch to turn Audi Mark into Innie Mark so he can get out?
Oh, you think she's going to get back in the lab?
Oh, I see what you're saying. So he wakes up as Audi Mark on the floor, and he's like, fuck, I got to get out of here?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Great show.
And Rickon. There's a lot. There's a lot.
What's up with Rickon?
I think they're
Where the
going.
hell's Rickon?
I feel like we're either getting a full flashback season, episode, series. Like there's so much like 10 years ago past stuff that they need to address that I think to stretch it out, I could see them going like deep in it. Because Rickon,
I would watch a full spin-off series about Rickon.
Yeah. What a weirdo.
He's fucking funny.
Yeah, he is funny. All right. Fyre Fest of the week. Also White Lotus. Did you see Duke is
Duke's
is
angry.
very upset?
Duke's
That's
big
no
bad.
spoilers for White Lotus. It's still ongoing, but very funny.
Well, traditionally, the best way to have people avoid seeing the thing that you're embarrassed about is to threaten legal action against them, and then that way they won't sign up to see what all the fuss is about.
People will stop talking about it. Yeah. Okay.
I think I've said this on my Fyre Fest before, and it probably means it's time to just get a new slats or like a new bed frame, but I plopped onto my bed again. Like I went to take a piss in the middle of the night, just kind of fell onto my bed, slats pushed down and broke, and it was like 4 a.m. And so I just went to sleep basically inverted, and my neck is killing me.
I got a solution for you.
What's that?
Sleep in a hammock.
Yeah,
You don't have to worry about slats and hammock.
There you go.
true.
Do you have to worry about getting just balled up and dying?
Yeah, and I feel like it's bad for your back, but
No, I
That's
think it's
interesting.
good. I think it's good for your back.
for long term, 8 hours a night, every night. Yeah,
I think it's good for your back.
1 hour summer in the middle of the day. There's nothing better on this planet.
But you're saying laying on something more firm would probably be better for your body.
Like a nice piece of outdoor furniture.
For 8 hours a night,
Yeah.
every night. Yeah.
I think you
But
guys
for
are
1
just,
hour break in the summer, I'd take a hammock over anything in the world.
I think you guys are denying science. I think hammocks are better for your back.
And how so?
I think that I've been reading a lot of pro hammock propaganda.
Okay.
And many people on the various message boards that I've read have said things like, ever since I started sleeping on a hammock, my back pain is non-existent.
These are people who are pro hammock.
Pro hammock, yeah. Well, it's
pro-hammock
on like
message boards.
reddit.com/hammocks.
Yeah.
Or hammockminder.net.
Big hammock.
Big hammock, yeah.
Yeah.
Hammockfans.com.
Hey, I got some new outdoor furniture coming. I can't wait for you to sit on it. It's gonna be great.
No, he's not allowed. I think he's not allowed.
It's gonna be great. You're gonna have a great time.
yeah, it's fine. I just need like a simple chair, but whatever you got.
Oh, simple chair. Okay. I can get you more than that.
Just give me a beach chair. Best outdoor furniture there is.
Beach chair now is the best outdoor furniture.
That's all you need.
Okay. Beach chair.
I'm kind of with you.
It's about being outdoors, not about what you're sitting on.
Right.
Okay. Beach chair.
Make sure if you get a hammock that you hang it at about 30 degrees hang angle with an asymmetric lay. And then you're going to get rid of your back pain.
All right, good to know.
Okay. What's your Fyre Fest PFT?
My Fyre Fest of the week is, I realized this, I believe on Sunday of this week, but I went to a concert like 4 or 5 months ago, and I had a great time, and I got in the mood to see more live music, so I looked up to see who was coming to Chicago in the next like 6 months, and I proceeded to, I was drunk at the time, hand up, bought 8 tickets to go see AC/DC at Soldier Field. 8 really nice seats. And then the person that I bought them with turns out is going to be out of town for the AC/DC concert. So now I got 7 tickets that I got to find people to bring along to go see AC/DC in Chicago. And I realized, especially in this office, that 7 tickets is the perfect amount to have people not like you if they don't get the invite. Because it's a big enough group where it's like, oh, anybody that he likes should be invited.
Right.
If I'm not invited, I'm not part of the crew.
Right.
And I was saying this the other day to Mincy, and Mincy just put his hand up. He said, "Stop right now. I'm coming with you." So
I saw
Mincy,
this entire.
That's great.
so Mincy said, like, right off the bat, like, no ifs, ands, or buts. He is locked. He said it like 9 times. He was like, "Just so you know, I'm definite. I'm a definite yes." So Mincy's going to come, and then Megan was listening to me. So her and her husband, Mr. Making Money,
Yep.
are coming. But now I got to figure out what to do with the remaining tickets, remaining 5 tickets, because again, this is like you're in. Remember the Club Cool Days in New York?
Yeah.
It's like if you don't get the invitation, then PFT doesn't like you.
That was also very, I mean, the Club Cool Days is one of the funny. I actually randomly was thinking about it today. I think that was the only time I went out in New York.
Yeah.
It was like the first week we were there, and then Dave got mad, and Dave went out and created his own Club Cool.
Yeah. Well, you guys are massive Kanye fans.
Yeah. You were there.
Club Cool?
You weren't?
No.
Oh. Had you moved already?
Yeah. Kanye is not my guy. Maybe he's your guy.
I don't
It's a sick
remember who was
concert.
there.
Yeah,
It
no,
was a
I
sick
wish I had
concert.
gone.
It was really sick.
I think I was out of town that weekend. But yeah, so,
All
no,
right, so let's rank your top 6 favorite coworkers.
well, so that's the problem is like if I don't
We'll just
ask
sound it
somebody,
out. Yeah, go 1 through 10.
I'm going to say everybody in this room. Tied.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, wait, we're not.
Oh, memes got
All right,
his
so
mic
that's
cut.
4.
Yeah, so Hank and Big Cat tied.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's for tickets. Was that an invite or?
No, we're just tied.
Oh,
If you want to go see AC/DC right now, you guys
I think
are
we have
invited.
dibs.
You guys have dibs, but
Did you talk to Greer?
I did not. So that's the other thing that comes into this is that Greer is having his bachelor party in Chicago that weekend, and they're going to AC/DC as part of the bachelor party.
might need extra
But then I
tickets.
thought about that, and then I'm like, is that weird? Where if I give the tickets around me to people in Greer's bachelor party, am I inviting myself onto Greer's bachelor party?
No.
No, Greer would absolutely love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, it doesn't
it's
have
such
to be
an-
Greer. It could be like, it could just be
Yeah.
other people from this office that are just going with you.
That
And
are
it-
going to the bachelor party.
Yeah.
Correct. And
Yeah.
it's also such an easy out, just being like, oh well, it's Greer's bachelor party. It's a gift to Greer
Yeah.
for him getting married.
All right. You know what?
That's the easiest way.
As my wedding present to Greer, who's getting real married, not at all a green card marriage, I would like to donate 4 tickets to AC/DC to his bachelor party,
Love
if
that.
you would like it.
damn.
And I'm keeping 4.
So we're out.
I really wanted to go too.
I really wanted to go.
Did you really, Hank?
yeah.
So bad.
You kind of invited me the other day, and I kind of said yes.
Well,
but
do you
that's
wanna
fine.
go? Because I'll make it
there was a
three.
kind of?
No, yeah. Well, I mean,
kind of invite and a
Wait,
kind
wait,
of
wait,
yes?
wait. Hank didn't say kind of yes. He was just like, I'll think about it.
no. I was like, I'm in.
Sounds like there was a
But
kind
no,
of
it's-
yes.
It's fine.
All right, Hank's going.
No,
So 3 tickets.
no. 4 for 4.
What's
for
the
Greer.
date?
It is the Saturday of Memorial Day weekend.
I'm
Soldier
out.
Field.
I'm also out.
I penciled Big
I
Cat
wasn't
in.
invited.
Here's how I operate with if I have a situation like this around Big Cat, I invite him
Yeah.
knowing that he's going to say no.
Yeah. I mean, I just have, I know I have shit
Right.
with my family,
Yeah.
my kids.
All right. So Hank's in. So now we're down to 3 tickets to Will. That's my wedding gift.
Should I call Greer, ask if he wants them?
Hank's
Yeah.
maybe in.
Hey-
You kind of offered and he kind of accepted.
I turned 30 that
Well,
day.
I
Oh,
literally
wow.
Actually, no, the next day.
I offered
How
you.
many meatballs you can put in your mouth that night?
So many.
I offered you like 4 days ago, and you didn't say yes.
He kind of said yes, but you also kind of.
That's the worst kind of friend. That's like a maybe.
I
About
don't
a free
think I
ticket.
said maybe. I think I said I'm in.
The maybe is so bad.
This is Michael Greer from Macro Data Refinement Barstool version.
This is our severed man. He's not going to answer. What a joke.
This is our data guy. Wow. We're never inviting Greer onto part of my take again.
Nope, never again.
One and done. We have our Canadian. His name's Oldie. By the way, I got a text from Oldie today because it's opening day.
Oh yeah, he's pumped.
He's so fucking pumped about opening day. He said, I fucking love sports, bro.
Yeah, he's so pumped.
love
He's addicted to college basketball now too.
Yeah.
I don't really have a Fyre Fest.
No,
had a
I was
pretty
just
good
joking,
week.
by the way. Greer can have all 4 tickets.
That's
do
the
this.
kind of yes.
Yes. Don't do this, Hank.
He did it. He just did it.
You're going to be golfing that day anyways. Let's get real.
Yeah, come on. That actually might be my Fyre Fest. My Fyre Fest is that the weather's turning and I'm gonna lose my friend Hank for the rest of the season.
That is tough.
I'll see him somewhere around week 6 of the NFL. Mm-hmm. It's bittersweet.
Outie Hank.
It is.
100%
You
outie
see him.
Hank.
You're just like, all right, that's it. Nice knowing you.
Greer's calling me back. Should I answer?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure,
yeah. We'll give him a
answer.
shot.
Michael,
What up?
you're live to tape on part of my take right now.
Okay.
So Saturday of Memorial Day weekend, you are going to an AC/DC concert in Chicago. Is that correct?
That's correct, yeah.
One Mr. PFT commenter would like to gift you 4 tickets to that concert. Is there anyone in your party that would like 4 tickets to the AC/DC concert?
In my party?
Anyone who's going to your bachelor party.
They're all coming to the concert.
Do they all have tickets?
Yeah, we all got tickets.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I could maybe find more.
Well,
find more people. No,
yeah.
he's got to find more
no,
people.
you have to find more
He's
people.
gotta
You
find
have
more people.
you're getting the tickets. The tickets are yours. You have to find the people to go.
Yeah, Max, tell him that
Okay,
I accidentally
thank you
bought
very
too
much.
many tickets and that I would now like him to decide who from the office gets the invite.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
PFD accidentally bought too many tickets to this concert, and it is now your responsibility to find people from this office to go to this concert. But it's not his responsibility; it's yours. But congratulations on your marriage.
Thank you very much. I'm more than happy to find homes for those tickets.
Okay, sweet.
All right,
Okay,
cool. All
great.
right. Thanks, Greer.
We did it. Yeah, so I got to say goodbye to Hank. We do it every year. It's kind of like the end of Severance, where he just stands at the door, and I scream. I'm on the inside, and I scream, "Don't come back!"
It's the old school distracted boyfriend meme.
Yeah,
Work and then golf.
he's gonna get so good at golf this year.
PFT, likes to fly planes around F-18s and just sit in the skies all day, and that's fine.
You don't know what an F-18 looks like. You
Big
couldn't
Cat
pick one
likes
out
to
of the lineup.
spawn children and provide life
Spawn
for them.
children?
And that's okay. Like, no one frowns upon that. But that's what you guys like to do outside of work. I like to golf, and that's a problem. It's.
I didn't say it was a problem. I said I would say goodbye to you. I miss you.
I'm here.
I'm gonna
I
be.
work.
You're gonna be
I'm
gone.
Still,
It's
I see
a
you at work the
bittersweet
same amount
day.
as I see you at work now.
It's a bittersweet moment.
I'd
every
like to
year.
encourage Hank's. I think it's important to have hobbies.
By the way, there's like a big Barstool content thing coming up in a few months. I was front and center saying Hank should be involved because he's really good at golf.
That's
True
not
fact or fiction?
That you did do that. I'm fiction about the good at golf part.
Okay, but
True that you-
All right, fact. I was gassing up my boy.
True.
Yes, and you're good at golf.
But then you shame me on the podcast. It makes
No,
me
I
feel
didn't.
bad.
I didn't shame you. Let's rewind the tape. I said I'm sad. This is the point of year where I have to say goodbye to you.
But I'm here as much as I was in the winter.
That's not true.
Yeah, it's not a good or you're gonna keep working. I'm gonna miss you.
I don't know what that means.
Usually you come on the yak on Fridays, stuff like that.
No, Hank, I'm excited for you because I plan on playing more golf this year too. So I can't be too hard on you because then I just look like a hypocrite.
What's
so.
the best round? I'm a Hank stan, longtime Hank stan, over decade long Hank stan. I'm gonna root for you to like crush it this year. By the way, shout out to Cheeky Golf Club boys.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Awesome.
Over a year doing it, trying to playing a round every single day until they got 18 pars in a row. What is your best round this year?
I like to break 90. I don't want to set too lofty
Wait, you haven't
goals.
broken 90?
I have, but like from
No,
the
you
white
haven't.
tees. No, I did from the white tees last year, but I feel like that doesn't count.
I just assumed you broke 90. That's my bad.
No, I mean I have, but I want to do it more consistently.
You want to do so? You
5
wanna-
times.
5 times break 90. What's the best score though?
86.
Okay.
What about a hole in one?
Yeah, I mean I would love that.
Okay.
Can't
Just
really plan on it happening.
But you can set it as a goal.
Yeah, go for it. Why not try?
I'm gonna try.
Okay.
It doesn't sound like you will. It sounds like you're not really focused on the hole in one.
No, you got those just have to come to you. You can't push for it too hard, or else it'll never happen.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm excited for your golf adventure.
Thank you. So am I.
I'm gonna play.
I am too.
How many times will I play with you?
A few. I have some ideas.
Okay. Wait, on camera or not camera?
Both.
How many times do I play with you as friends?
I think once I have. I would like to come to Michigan this summer.
Okay. I think twice.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna say 3 times. 3 times that I'm gonna play. We're gonna play together. Not maybe all 18 holes, but we will actively be out together playing golf.
Like last year when you took a vacation and then we planned a golf round. They're like, I got to go do the yak.
No, that was
during vacation week.
no, that was that?
Remember?
No.
No, I think that was because I had Rough and Rowdy that night.
No.
Yeah, I had to get on a plane. And you also just like robbed me. You invited me out to your golf club and you took so much money off me because you brought a golf pro with you and you're like, oh, Big Cat, you have Jerry. I have this guy.
Yeah.
He's just a pro at golf. Let's just play duos.
Hank, if we played 1-on-1, 18 holes, how many strokes would you give me? 10?
No, I'd give you like 6 or 7.
How many strokes did you give me?
I give you a lot.
30?
Stroke a hole.
Stroke a hole.
Do you want to do a summer long contest? Call it 7 strokes. We take
you
the
should
number of
you
holes.
should just get a handicap if you're going to play more golf. Like there's a very easy way where you could post enough scores to have a handicap where it's like we don't have to.
Well, let's just say
make up.
Let's say
strokes.
7 strokes, and all the holes that we play, all the rounds that we play this summer, you have to beat me by more than an average of 7 strokes.
Why don't we just play match by match?
I feel
Make
like
it
we
easy.
do this all the time on camera, and PFT just wins outright.
Well, that's on camera.
That's
Hank-
on camera.
Hank melts down on
chokes
camera.
on camera every time.
Also, I'm clutch when the lights
Also,
come on.
PFT's clutch when the lights are on.
We haven't done that in like 2 years. It's fine. We'll see. Time will tell.
Okay.
So you're turning down my challenge.
I don't want to do like math averages and shit for
Yeah, that sounds
for
confusing.
golf rounds. Like,
Well,
let's just,
I wanna
let's just
have-
play 'em. Let's just play like I won match 1, you won match 2, and who wins the most matches.
I want a summer long competition, like an extra long round of golf.
How many rounds do I have to play to get a handicap?
8.
Out. Okay.
I actually might be like 20.
I don't think it would be possible for me to get a handicap. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think the course would close before I did a real round of golf.
Yeah, I
We're-
also don't have the attention span.
Credit to me for being a good guy. There was a bachelor. We were going through bachelor party submissions. We should have the one end of this week, if not next. But there was one that was like in Oregon that was like 3 days walking 36 holes each day, and I
Oh my
wanted to send Max
God.
on that, but I felt bad for the whichever camera guy goes. But that would have been a hilariously like fun for some people. Like I would enjoy that, but that's Max would
Yeah.
be miserable.
That would be brutal.
I am so bad. He said I could stop at any time I wanted if I got a par, which would just never.
That's really funny. That's really funny. We should do that challenge for me on camera. That
just
would be a
keep
funny
having-
video because I don't want to golf, and then I have to keep golfing until I get one par.
You can get one on a par 3.
Maybe.
No, par threes. That's the least likely for me that would get a par.
Yeah, you hit dingers only.
Because like a short par 4, I could get it right next to the green and still probably bogey.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd take me a while. Okay. Numbers.
3.
18.
Oh, you're spicy today. 22. You're not going to get it.
75.
Cool if I did.
99 per.
34. 55.
46. 46.
Who gets 45?
Not me.
Oh, 55. That was 45.
Memes, not even close. You're not even getting better at it, Memes.
No.
Okay.
Love you guys.
One day.